Hello, my name is Rob Ellison. I'm currently attending Brock University Teachers College, and for my language arts class, a personal literacy timeline and teaching philosophy is required as one of my assignments. I was born on July 26, 1986, and when I was young, my mother would feed me my baby food. As she did, she would point to the picture of the jar and speak in English and in French. Banana, banane, apple, pomme. This helped me to realize at an early age how multilingual acceptance is great. I knew that my food was not just one word, but many. It also taught me that pictures and symbols can communicate as well. After all, a letter is a symbol representing a certain sound. At age 1 or 2, my grandfather would give me the comics and the newspaper to color, and he taught me fine motor skills of coloring little circles. This soon became a favorite interest of mine, and I've been able to draw many pictures, bringing my ideas out. This taught me skills acquired in early development can expand greatly and still be used in adulthood. These skills are to be cherished, no matter how small they may start. At age 3, my parents would get me little golden books for my birthdays and Christmas. I would immediately run up to my room and organize them by serial number. This has taught me to keep organized, and then I can pass this on to my students so that they can keep their lives organized as well. When I was 4, I can still remember my mother holding a pizza box that she wrote words on. Robbie, Mummy, Daddy, Grandpa, Grandma, Papa, Pizza, Wuzzle, Little, Apple were just some of the words that I could read. Also that year, I would sit at my hairdresser's and read Green Eggs and Ham. That was the first book I had read, and maybe I had just memorized it and the pizza box, but memory is where language comprehension starts from. I was ecstatic that I could read. I remember it clearly, and if it was that important to me, how much greater can it be to a struggling student? At age 5, I was the first in my senior kindergarten class to be able to spell my last name. I would sit and spell it out using the ASL sign language alphabet, and a song that my mother had taught me. E, E, L, E, L, L, E, L, L, I. However, I would write each letter and need to start back at the beginning each time. I was taught the ASL alphabet because a boy on my street was born deaf. This helped to show me that different people need to speak differently, and that I could understand disabilities. It also shows me now that there are different ways to learn, such as my tactile and visual learning. When I was 8, there were 2 grade 3 classes in my school. The other class studied the solar system. I asked my teacher why couldn't we do it, and she said that we didn't have the time, but she encouraged me to do research on my own. I went to the library and borrowed a book about space. For the next few years, I could tell you anything about space. This shows me how a teacher's encouragement can open up so many doors for a child. I will encourage my students to seek out their interests and help them with it as much as I can, since my teacher helped me. In grade 4, Goosebumps series came out. My favorite books were The Haunted Mask and Monster Blood. The series swept through schools all over, and it became the newest fad. But this fad was able to create readers, each wanting to read more than their friends. If ever there's a fad that I do not like, but it's encouraging children to read, educate, or better themselves in any way, I will promote it as well. Grade 9 saw me discover my favorite novel, John Wyndham's The Chrysalids. Though no one else in my class enjoyed it, I relished every page. This showed me that even if a majority feel one way about a subject, I need to look for that one student who is overjoyed to even touch upon it. When I was 17, I began to teach myself guitar after watching Jack White play Seven Nation Army. He played it on a ukulele, and I grabbed my dad's guitar and translated it. I then went to the library to find a CD-ROM on playing guitar. I was able to entertain others by playing songs I had learned. It has shown me that music too can communicate to others, and that songs are multi-leveled, with the lyrics, tone, and instruments. When I was 18, I was in a creative writing class in high school. I learned the different techniques for writing, and most importantly, that words have meaning. I can show my students how to use words for change, advocacy, and to educate others. Not only that, but even in their writing, I can peek into what they have gone through in their lives. When I was 19 in my first year of Brock University, I began to write a screenplay adaptation to The Chrysalids, and a parody screenplay of my life. I also wrote a script involving vampires. This would later become my very first novel that I had published a year later. With the Chrysalids script, I discovered how you can take something you love and adapt it to be your own. My novel shows how small scribblings in a notebook can be turned into a story and further into a novel. Later, when I was 20, I discovered graphic novels. I read Sin City for a popular narrative class and realized that this format of graphic novels was the future of literature. Since then, I have collected several of them. Even Shakespeare, which shows that there are many ways to teach a subject, not just the standard words on page method. When I was 23, I began to teach myself to play the piano. I translated what I knew from guitar, which relates to the multilingual acceptance, though it is through the language of music. I also learned how to play the theremin, which is a non-conventional instrument played without being touched and uses pitch and volume to make it sound. It taught me that there are always new and interesting ways to communicate. I can transfer this to teaching by accepting the ideas of others rather than the ones that I have always known. When I was 24, I wrote a stage play called Android. It was about a girl's acceptance in high school society after a tragic event, and how some people can be helping while others can harm. This helped me to learn how to formulate ideas and beliefs and transfer them into a story to teach from. I hope you've enjoyed my personal philosophy and my literacy timeline. Again, I'm Rob Ellison. Thank you for watching.